Because the deacon is present, the lectors will not enter with the procession. They will begin in their pews. When it is time for their reading, the lectors will come forward, bow at the steps, and proceed to read from the ambo. They will return to their seat after the reading. Aaron will read the first reading, and Sarah will read the second reading. After the homily, those Christians who are not yet Catholic will come forward to make their profession of faith and be received into the Catholic Church. They will then sit down, and Father Haugen will invite forward the children who will read the petitions. When the children come forward to read, the ushers should also stand and walk to the back, where they will take the collection baskets, which will be leaning against the walls, here and here, here and here. When the children have finished the intercessions, the ushers will walk all the way to the front of the pews and bow. Facing the altar, Ashley Wahlberg will walk on the outside left. Alex Carroll will walk on the inside left. Susan Hemans will walk on the inside right. And Amy Rolfson will walk on the outside right. Once you get to the front, make a bow, then walk back, gathering the collection, and I will be in the back to put it into one big basket. For communion, we're trying to make things move more quickly and still allow family and guests to be close to the child when they receive communion. After the sign of peace, the extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion should come forward and stand where they usually stand on a Sunday Mass. I will have given all the extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion name tags so that Father and the deacon will know whether to give you a plate or a cup, as it will be indicated on the name tag. For distribution of communion, Kathy will have a plate and give communion to the choir, standing right about here. On the left side of the church, facing the altar, Anne Warwick will distribute from the cup and stand in front of the holy water font. Camilla will also have a cup and stand next to the pillar. On the right side of the church facing the altar, Mindy will distribute from the cup right in front of the holy water font. And Karen Schmid will distribute from a cup right next to the pillar on that side. Ralph will have a plate and distribute on the right side facing the altar. And Deacon Joe will have a plate and distribute on the left side facing the altar. Ralph and the deacon should stand as close to the outside of the aisle as possible. When the ministers are in place, I will invite the first family forward. The child and parents will come directly up to Father Haugen, who will be standing here. As the rest of the family in that pew comes up, I will direct them to line up along the front of the pews in which they were sitting. The idea here is that the parents are right up close and the family or guests are behind, but they still have a view. Father will give communion to the parents and then the child. Deacon and Ralph, you start to give communion to the other family who are lined up behind the parent and child, either on this side or this side. On your sides. Start distributing communion immediately once they are lined up. And this is important. Move quickly down the line. You'll be starting here or on the opposite side, and just go from one person to the next distributing communion. Once you have finished distributing communion, move all the way back near the outside aisle on your side so that the next family, as they come up, will come all the way to you. We want to make sure the family comes all the way over. Ministers holding the cup, you will not be moving from your spots. Make yourselves available to anyone who comes to you and wishes to receive. Some will, some won't. Susan and Alex, as ushers, could you come forward as soon as the extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion have taken their places, and then begin inviting one family forward at a time, alternating sides. This is also important. We don't want any time in between families receiving communion, so there should always be a family standing in line, ready to move forward as soon as Father becomes available. I'll stay right up front directing the family, so don't worry if there are one or two families in line. That's better than having no families in line and having to wait while they walk from further back all the way forward. Ushers should continue to invite the people behind the reserved seating forward until everyone has received. When finished distributing communion, return the plates to the altar and the cups to the credence table near Father's chair. If you are an extraordinary minister of Holy Communion or an usher, you can come near to Father whenever your child is receiving. If a child accidentally drops communion, simply pick it up and put it in your pocket and bring it to the sacristy right after Mass. If some precious blood is spilled, simply put the purificator on the ground over it, then go to the sacristy and get another purificator and continue with distribution, standing over the spill. Just thank you all for volunteering to help make this celebration of First Communion extra special. And please view this and let me know if you have any questions about how we're coordinating it this year. Thank you so much.